Hey guys, Colby here. Welcome back to another video for Watcher of Realms. If you have not checked the events tab just yet, just have a look today, because every single day we know that it moves on for one day forward, right? So we all know that Pyus is coming, an amazing epic. If you don't have something like a Twin Fiend, Pyus is the next best alternative for the Infernals over there, so make sure you get that when it's coming. But that's not what I wanted to make the video for. Crazy Invocation of Spirits is coming in again this Friday for the weekend, right? This is a 2x on the normal summons for the Invocation of Spirits. It's very specific. It's the blue shards, right? The blue summoning stones. That's gonna give you the 2x chance, and then the divine stones, right? The sacred ones, if you're from raid, those will give you again a 2x chance. But that's not what I wanted you to focus on. This is coming in special ancient summoning. Seize the chance to summon Lord heroes and the Chaos Dominion heroes. All right, there's gonna be a grand prize for this one for ancient summoning, and the grand prize will revolve around Leia and this guy here, Gan. So I wonder if they'll also do a 10x on these two heroes when this comes. Ancient summoning is very important to keep an eye on, because that's the best way to pick up Lord heroes. The chances to get Lords is better using the redstones. That's why they're more expensive. I could compare them to Void Shards from Raid Shadow Legends, but honestly, it's not as bad as Void Shards. But since you can get other heroes in there, but it's still, you know, much more expensive if you're somebody who spends. If you're not somebody who spends and you're like me, I do not buy the red summoning stones, right? The ancients, as they call them. I just slowly accumulate them as I'll play through the game. There's different rewards here and there, and I have never done a 10x summoning on those. So look at that. I've already collected 53 for all the time that I have been playing. It's not a lot by any means. It's not a lot, but it's still a solid amount for when the time comes. I'll be able to pick up something that might be worth it, and this is probably one of the cases that you want to consider it. Maybe it's going to be worth it for you. But again, this is going to be the chance to summon the Lord heroes and the Chaos Dominion heroes. The grand prize is probably going to be for the global leaderboard. That's what I'm guessing. It's going to be for the global leaderboard. We don't have any details just yet, but the two heroes that are offered, Leia is the next best thing. I think it's better to have Leia than Elowen as an example, because Leia is another hero that can help you with the rage region. So if we have a look at her skills, attack-based healing to 3 allies in range, that's okay. Then restores 10% rage for all allies in range immediately. Afterwards, restores 1% rage for them every 2 seconds, lasting for 10 seconds. This effect does not affect the hero's rage, so her own rage is not affected by this one. But this is very crucial, because that's 10% rage, and then the rage interval can also drop, so 1.5 seconds and then 1 second, so another 10% rage, and then the rage region per second can jump up to 1.6% over 10 seconds, so 1.6% every second over 10 seconds. That's another 16% rage. It's just an amazing, easy way to get her rage going and get every single other ally getting their ultimate ability up again and going. Also, when the ultimate is triggered, applies damage increase. Look at that, plus 10% to all allies in range, and increases their damage by 5% every 5 seconds, stacking up to 1 time. And this also goes up. So an amazing damage booster plus rage booster, all in, packed in one. Okay, when allies in range release their ultimates, they will restore HP equal to 150% of Leia's healing multiplier. That's also very good. Heals them basically when they're using their ultimate. So you don't need to focus on Leia being just another healer, right? You don't try and get her healing up, attack-based healing up. So you don't give her a lot of attack percent. You can give her some rage regen and play around with that in terms of getting her to do her ultimate. But fantastic Lord skill as well. Faction allies basic attributes boosting, periodically increases damage and healing multiplier by 30% for 20 seconds. And the more faction allies there are on the team, the more frequently this takes effect. When any faction ally is healed, the damage will increase by 15%. That is huge. Although for Watchers, I'm not sure how many heroes you would actively be using in, let's say, the guild boss, but that's, you know, another Lord skill to have in mind if you want to be just boosting your your other allies. By the way, there's another epic in there that has the same Lord skill, but it's a little bit weaker and it can also boost damage. And then the next Lord we want to show is Gan, right? He is more arena focused. He has the unique arena thing. Reduces this hero cost in arena by 5. That is pretty cool. Damage skills off defense. Increase defense by 2% for 15 seconds. Each time taking damage, capping to 30% defense. Insane. So his cost reduced to by 5. So that's 14 in arena. That's very low. Attacks up to 3 enemies in range, dealing 70% damage to each enemy. That's very nice, both for AoE arena, but also for sustained damage arena. Sometimes I think there's multiple targets in there. And then increases block by 3. Look at this ultimate, and grants physical damage reduction. He basically becomes a tank. All right, although he's defensive based, so he'll be tanky in terms of defense. Usually it's health that you also be want to focusing on, although the defense will be helping him take a few hits before he dies. This extra damage reduction is so good. All damage reductions plus 20%. Look at that. If you get this going a little bit, you get a 30% damage reduction when you pop his ultimate. That is huge, actually. And then taking damage has a 15% chance to attack up to 10 enemies ahead, dealing 300% damage. That is huge. This goes on to 500% with a 25% chance. So the more often he gets hit, the more he replies back, basically, by 500% damage. Then triggers when HP drops below 30%. The damage will be reduced to 10. This effect lasts for 10 seconds, cooldown 90 seconds. So he becomes very, very tanky when dropped to very low health. He basically takes no damage after that. Basically. But very tanky defender. He's got the Lord skill as well. If we want to have a look at that one. Basic attributes, of course. Increases faction allies damage based on their lost health up to 60% at 30% health. So if you got something like a Valeria, she's going to get helped by this guy, I believe. Valeria is not only Nightmare, she's also Chaotic, I think. Yes, she is. Yeah, she's got double faction, Chaotic and Nightmare. So if you get him, he's going to be helping her. I also have some other heroes from this one, but not that hyped. If you ask me, for the other ones I have. This one is kind of useful, but this was, I believe, a random divine pool that I didn't manage to get. So very cool events that are coming. Again, if you don't want to be summoning, just keep your summons. But remember, if you want to pick up Pyus and you want to pick at least 2 complete copies of the hero for whatever reason, you gotta be getting the first position in many of these Oracle's trials, right? The tournament type events that are coming. But still, if you don't want to get the 2 copies, you can get the 1 copy. And honestly, for Pyus, I'm just gonna say you only need Awakening 3 for him to be as effective as you would like, because on Awakening 3, that's when he gets a little bit boost. I think it's Awakening 3, right? Yeah. Delusional Gaze lasts 5 more seconds if the target is still alive after the end of Distraction Command. So that's basically when he becomes a little bit better, because his Delusional Gaze just extends in duration. Other than that, he's still very, very solid for throughout. You don't need Awakening 5. Awakening 4 gives him a little bit of penetration. But overall, you don't really need to have the extra copy because he's an epic. And the epic Awakening stones are kind of easy to get through the Nightmare Guild bosses. And also, if you're just starting out through the Tide, as you're progressing through, before you hit the wall, which is probably somewhere here, around this part, 125, 126 is where I'm at. I might try this one today, actually. That's when, you know, the Awakening stones kind of stop. That's it, guys, for today's video. Just an introduction what is coming. I think Leia is an amazing legendary. I want to wait until the actual event starts to see where we are at. But if it's like a tournament type where the global one first position gets Leia, yeah, that's impossible for me. But still, very, very strong hero. That's it for today. Thank you all. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.